Hey, what's going on, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Gaming's Howl, the gaming talk show where we talk about anything and everything related to video games, whether that be news, reviews, movies, history, and more. I'm your host, Graywolf, and today we are joined once again by guest and old friend Caesar, also known as Caesar v. Thunder. I will eventually come up with a better intro that's just, like, less cringy, because even I'll admit, like, just, the way it's just done is just, oh my god. But,
It's fine.
yeah, but anyway, so it's been a good amount of time since our last episode. Like, I'd say nearly a solid month. Yeah, no, solid month about basically at this point, because I think this is now encroaching the fourth week. But
Mm.
anyway, though, getting on to all the good stuff, and I now need to go onto Discord on my phone to even get all these topics. Oh my
Bruh.
god. But yeah, so last month, and I believe it is still, yeah, so first up, I actually didn't know there was a National Video Game Day.
I mean, let's be real. There's a national for any type of thing.
Yeah, but it's just like, it was one of those things where it's like, because I know that we had 9/11, and then the next day it was just like Happy National Video Games Day. I'm like, wow, that's a 180 in terms of feelings. Like, it's like dark, depressing day, then happy day. It's like, okay, sure, that works. But yeah, no, I don't know if any of you guys did anything special for that, but I just played games or just chilled. But
So what you do any other day?
yeah, pretty much. But anyway, though, getting into the next bit of not really so much news, but a whole bunch of birthdays once again, and we're just gonna fly by these because we do have a lot to talk about today. Mario Brothers turns 36 as of 9/13 of this year. Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time and Darkness turns 14 as of September 13th. Since 2007, and I should have added that with Mario Brothers. That came out on September 13th, 1985, and Mystery Dungeon, September 13th, 2007. We also have Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which turned 12 back on September 12th, since that released back in 2009. We got Smash Brothers 4, which turns 7 years old, which was of September 13th, 2014. GameCube. God, this one is.
Told you, man.
GameCube is now 20 years old as of September 14th, since that released in Japan back in 2001. We got Recore turning 5, which. Have you ever played Recore?
No, I just didn't remember that that game.
Yeah, no, I remember it a few years back. I never really paid all that much attention to it. It never really gained my interest. But yeah, so that turned 5. We had For the 3 released on the Xbox One and Windows 5 years ago. ODST, this one's a big one for me. ODST turns 12 as of September 22nd, since that released back in 2009. We have Halo Reach turning 11, since that released back on September 14th, 2010. Halo 3 turns 14. We have Ico, which has turned 20 since it released back on September 24th, 2001. And, God, how many birthdays was that even?
I think you have like one more. No,
No.
never mind. There's a couple more, but they're later in the fucking
Yeah,
list.
yeah. But yeah, that was, jeez, how about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy goddamn.
And maybe like 3 more down the list.
Like, it's one of those. It's not major news or whatever, but it's just kind of one of those. I felt
It's just to
that,
remind everybody how old they are.
yeah, kind of, but also just like just give you an idea of just how many good games have honestly just come out over the years, you know? Like, granted, I was never someone who was into Forza, but like Heart Gold, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Mario Brothers, that one's something people are gonna feel old with, I guarantee you. GameCube, ODST, Halo Reach, like those are all solid games in my opinion. Anyway, though, as I said, we're just gonna brush right past that because we do have a lot to get through today. So we have Stalker 2. I don't know if you watched E3, but Stalker 2 was one of the games announced at E3, and Stalker 2 will be apparently launching April 28th, 2022 for Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. So we finally have a release date on that.
That's neat. I mean, I feel like so from what I've like gathered, it's like I guess the other Stalker games were console only. I could be wrong. Hold on.
I'm gonna be honest. I never even heard of Stalker until Stalker 2 this E3.
I literally just only heard it from like a coworker, and it seems like so the first one was actually it seems to be a Microsoft exclusive. Um, and it seems to have done well. Obviously, not well enough for like everybody to recognize the game.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing, especially about nowadays, though. You have so many games that releases, unless it's like a massive AAA title, you're really not gonna hear about it unless it's just through sheer dumb luck, like Fall
But then
Guys or Among
also
Us.
this hold on, when was this released? It says 2006, so it's been a minute
Hot minute.
since they had a game.
Yeah, but so yeah, no, we finally got a release date for that, which is nice. Um, Now this is actually something which I'm actually thought was kind of cool. Which so someone developed a concept for the Xbox Cloud Gaming TV app. Now, for those who don't know, Microsoft is planning to include the Xbox app into newer TVs for people to kind of like use TVs as a way to stream and play console games. And it's one of those where it was very sleek. It kind of just looked like any other app on the TV. Like if you were to play uh, if you were to just have tiles, basically. It just looked very neat to me. Um, you didn't get a chance to look at that, right, Caesar?
No, I did. So that thing actually is not just for TVs. You can actually do it on your even on the laptop, and on some case, in some places, you can actually even do it on your phone as well. Apparently, um, if you download a certain app, you can actually have the game popped on your phone. Obviously, your phone's gonna be burning hot after you're done playing the game, but like,
Yeah.
it's a neat idea. Um, I just don't know why they're popping this now when they still have their consoles like so I guess new.
As I said
Like
before, it's only like a concept in terms of like what the app could look like layout wise. But
but
I
then
still
also they also that they released this actually in like kind of not third world countries, which is nice because obviously not everybody can afford to have a console
yeah
out there, and this helps them like if they wanna move around and play a game, the options there now.
yeah. But so in regards to the Xbox app though, um, they have now released the Windows 10 Xbox app streaming feature to the console, PC, and XCloud. Um, so that's actually nice. The fact that you can now actually use XCloud directly to your PC, and the fact that they're now rolling it out on consoles, that's a major plus. I do think. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean nowadays it's kind of hard to continue your save data at a buddy's house without fully logging in your all your information to their console.
I mean, it's also just
So
kind of nice, for all those who can't get a like Series X or whatever because of like money or just because scalpers
yeah.
hate your guts. But it's again the thing I love with Microsoft right now is the fact that they're trying to make their games as accessible as possible, including the next generation games. So I give them a lot of credit for doing this because again, I didn't even think that they were going to be able to. Like, not even I didn't think they were going to be able to as much as it was I never even thought that they would be able to make newer games be streamed to the older consoles. That I still consider that a very neat idea. And a way to
Mhm.
kind of keep the loyal customers and fan base with them for the ride. So, but moving on though, we got Fortnite Season 8, which has finally started up. I don't really care too much about Fortnite, but I do know that Fortnite is still a very majorly popular game for some people. So I figured I'd just kind of throw that in there just because it is news. So, um,
Mhm.
oh, by the way, you know how like we talked about? uh, GTA not being liked anymore.
Ugh.
Yeah, so hey guys, guess what? GTA next gen release has been delayed to March 2022. But do we actually give a shit? Is the
Do we
question.
need another one?
Like,
Is it gonna be different? Or is it gonna be the same shit like the last one?
I just still like the comment someone gave on the trailer, which is like, it's like, oh, like welcome to Los Santos, and everyone's just like, we never left. What do you mean? And someone else was just like, don't worry, guys. Like, now that they got this done, Rockstar could focus on their next project, GTA 5 for PS6 and the next gen Xbox. Like,
Oh
it's
god.
just become such a meme at this point, you know?
This- Fuck Los Santos. Send us somewhere else.
Honestly, just if like, it's just to the point where it's like, if you're gonna make just a GTA last this long, just make it like Halo Infinite or Fortnite or Apex, and just give us a live updating map, please. Like
I feel that.
just do that, and like we'll forgive you.
Like, fuck it, have a crater dump into the throw ourselves back to like how Saint Rose 3 used to be, where like 1 minute the city's all normal, and then by the time you hit the end game, the city's like upside down, sideways, and you don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Um. And speaking of releases, we actually now know that Gran Turismo will launch March 4th, 2022. Um, you're never into the racing games all that much, right?
Not really. The only ones that I played are Need for Speed, and even then I was not that captivated
Yeah.
by them.
It's funny, like whenever I think of Gran Turismo, for some reason I always just think of Forza. I think just because of the fact that Forza is just kind of like the main one that's like typically in the spotlight. Which is like
Uh-huh.
Gran Turismo 7. It's just like, wait a minute, there were 6 prior games.
That's what I want. It's like, yeah, like I've only heard of Need for Speed. I've heard Forza here and there, and I'm like, there's other ones.
Like it's just, to me, it's just kind of remind me of like the shooter space where it's just like there were so many shooter games. It's like, oh, it's like Soccer 2. It's like, wait, there was a Soccer 1.
Oh yeah, fair. It's like, wait, that was a thing.
We had the Kirby and Bayonetta 3 release date, which had been leaked, and I don't know if it was
What do you
actually
mean leak? That was in the direct.
no, but this information was before the direct.
Oh,
Yeah, so but it had
oh yeah,
got leaked,
yeah,
and I believe that the direct actually did confirm that we're getting those games for what was it,
yes.
2022?
I think so. I didn't think that far off. I think by the no, actually, no, by 2022, I think. I have to
Yeah,
look that up, but I think it's by that time.
yeah. I forget. Were you ever majorly into the Kirby games or?
I not that much. I don't understand the story, but I did. Whenever I would watch gameplay, I did find it to be very colorful and very like. I see why the appeal. I
Yeah,
see where the appeal for those games are because they're
vibrant.
aimed for like the younger demographic who
Yeah.
are like still distracted easily by like ooh shiny stars and weird like puzzly kind of fights.
So what you're
And
telling me is
it's
that they're
cute.
addicted to Mario because of coins.
Yeah, they just Mario's kind of the adult version because he takes shrooms.
God.
They'll get there. No, but I
Eventually.
am very excited for the one that they're releasing now, which is if I could look it up real quick. Uh, let me see. Oh, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So it's actually looking very cool because it is free. It is looking open world, a tiny bit linear, um, but it is looking very good compared to what the previous Kirby games used to be. Um,
It's funny. I remember. I think the first time I ever played a Kirby game, and now I know technically it's not a Kirby game, but I think the first time I ever like played as like Kirby was like back in Smash Bros. And then first Kirby game I ever owned was for the Game Boy Advance. I think it was like, oh my god, I forgot which one it was, but like I remember one of the abilities allowed you to turn into some kind of like needle hat Kirby or something like that. Like It was
Oh
like a
yeah, if you swallowed up one of the like the spiky dudes.
yeah. It's like you became like spiky Kirby or something like that. Like that was that was a very fun game for what it was. Then like just Kirby games, they've always been simple. Um, so like that's definitely one of the appeal. But you know, of course, I get older. I desire more things. So those games don't appeal to me as much anymore. But as you said before, like I do understand the appeal to them. So, but yeah, no, Bayonetta 3. Now this is a game I feel like you've definitely played before.
Oh, 100%. I played it multiple times. Um, I am. So it does say that it. So just going back a little for the Kirby thing, it is gonna be releasing in spring of 2022. I just found that out because I pulled up the video literally. And the Bayonetta one does not have a release date. It just says 2022.
This is why I'm glad I have Caesar, because literally all my extended arms are just all tied to something in terms of
Yeah.
just like trying to create this video. So if it wasn't for him, oh dear. Because
No,
like
okay. So yeah. So no, Bayonetta games. They're awesome games. They're very, um, they're not very. They are sexualized, but not in a way that makes it bad.
like in a
Um,
tasteful way.
it is done a little bit tastefully.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me about the new Bayonetta is that it kind of plays a little bit like I don't know if I've ever played of like Monster Hunter or trying to remember any other game that has like a big creature that spawns in the background.
Dauntless.
Sure, Dauntless. Uh,
So I played that game
uh,
for like 10 hours and that was it.
yeah, same. I played for 5. No, but
God.
so the thing about the new Bayonetta is that so you kind of run around the world and you kind of do the fighting on your own. But then at a certain point, you kind of build up enough energy and it seems like you summon the creatures that in the previous games you would use to finish an enemy off.
Yeah.
And this time you kind of control them and you have them fight the big creature as well. So I'm wondering if I don't know if that's gonna be the entire gameplay for the game, or if there is gonna be certain fights that Bayonetta does on her own. Because that's what I'm used to. Because it's like you will go through this whole fight, you kind of hit the weak spots, and then you do your ultimate, and that's like
Yeah.
the big creature to come out and kill the guy. And it's not looking like it's like that anymore.
It's fun.
But I'm always excited for a new Bayonetta game because
Yeah.
it's
Well, it's like because I also know that people have been clamoring one for like a good few years now.
100%.
And it's like
Especially,
it's funny because like Bayonetta, I know for a fact that that is not like a bad game whatsoever. I never got into it, and it's like you ever feel like there's a game where it's just like if you were like younger or if, like you hadn't played something else, you probably would have given it more of a try or whatever.
I can see that.
Yeah, like for me, it's definitely like one of those games where it's like I'm able to respect it for what it is, even though I've never played it or really kind of like researched all that much into it. But it's just like from just everything I've heard about it, it's just like I know it's a respected franchise, and I definitely believe it is for good reason. Maybe one day I'll check it out, whether it be story or actual gameplay when I'm just like bored one day. But
The first game is on Steam.
again, it's expecting me to go through like I just get overwhelmed by games nowadays.
Very fair. But yeah, no, it is
And with
tastefully
every
done.
game
All the
super, no one is. Fucking syndrome.
No. It is
Um,
tastefully done. I highly suggest giving it a try. I would suggest playing the first game, which it is on Steam. I believe is like maybe $20 or $10.
yeah, I was
It
gonna
is.
say I would imagine like $5 or $10.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Has been a minute. The second game is on the Wii U and Switch, I believe. Um, that one's also very good. I only played through it once. I didn't do a second playthrough, but all the Bayonetta games usually have replayability in the sense of you can unlock more ways to kill things, which is who
Yeah.
doesn't want new and variety ways of killing things. Um, but yeah, no, highly looking up to see what they do with Bayonetta 3,
Yeah,
and hopefully it's not repetitive.
yeah. Continuing the good news, Splitgate has raised $100 million for development.
Yeah, I think they need to speed up the process.
I
They're kind
mean,
of fun. I haven't heard. This is the first news I've heard of anything about Splitgate.
you mean besides the fact that the server is going down and just like limited server space?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Splitgate and like I believe I have talked about it before, but in the event that I haven't, Splitgate is basically what happens when you combine Halo with Portal, and it's a very fun game. Um, I don't like. I've tried it out. I played it for a little bit of time. It didn't really hook me. And I think it's just because of the fact that it's like again, why play this when I can just go like play Halo and whatnot. But just the whole concept of it, it is very fun. If you haven't played it, I definitely highly recommend checking it out. I do believe it's free, right? If I'm not mistaken correctly.
Let me double check. I think so. I think the
Yeah, no, because like it's like it has a battle pass and whatnot.
yeah, Splitgate is free to
Yeah.
play.
So like if you're kind of looking for like a new different type of arena shooter, I would definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're someone who has enjoyed the Halo franchise. You'll notice that it feels very similar to that. But yeah, so honestly, good on them for getting the funding because they really need it. And hopefully everything continues going well for them. So,
Mm-hmm.
and moving on, we have Nintendo lowering the price of the base Nintendo Switch model in both the Europe and UK.
Now, I think this is mostly due to the fact that um, seems like COVID is hitting harder over there than over here in the States.
So you think they have to lower the price in order to make the sale?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. That they're lowering the price so that it becomes slightly more available for people over there. And you know what? Props for them for lowering the price and trying to still make sales, even though it is kind of rough
Yeah.
nowadays. But you know what? It's Nintendo can afford to lower the price.
Well, also the thing with Nintendo is that they've always been under the principle of like making everything family affordable. Because they've never been in the market of like how Sony and Microsoft was or is about making a beefy, powerful machine. They've always just wanted it to be fun and accessible. Like that. That's just
Yes.
always where they put their mentality, which I do respect, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Speaking of consoles and whatnot, according to I think it was like Xbox like Studio Head or whatever. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, Caesar. But according to one of the Xbox heads, apparently console constraints will go into 2022. Oh my god.
Listen, I am 100% for this because it makes no sense why anybody should have to struggle to get a console when they have the funds to do it. And not have to pay double the price to some asshole who decided to buy 20 of them and sell the remaining 19
Yeah.
for double the price because they want to make a quick buck. Like now, don't like you can say yes, but that's how capitalism works and whatever. I'm like,
Yeah, no, and, like
yeah,
I've heard Rich and Review Tech talk about that where it's like, oh, it's like no, that's how capitalism works. It's like no, it's
it's
artificial.
being a douchebag.
What's like no, like what was it? It's like it's artificial market pricing or whatever like that.
It's
Where just,
artificially inflating
yeah,
destabilizing the market
yeah, it's
or inflating it. One of the two.
you're inflating you're artificially inflating the prices. Like it's not based on the actual market demand. You're doing it because of the fact that you're able to control the pricing and it's just,
You're able to control the pricing because the supply is not there.
yeah.
And because you have all the supply, and that's the problem.
Like I just remember a while back seeing someone take a picture of like them having 20 PS5s and I'm like, there's a special place in hell for you.
Yeah, like you know what? Good for you. You have the money to spend it on 20 PS5s. Good luck getting the money back now, though.
Well, no,
Because nobody's gonna fucking buy those unless you're really desperate.
Well, no. So I think from what I heard, the way they actually make their money is that they need to actually get out the consoles fast, because like I don't even know if like they're actually using savings on those consoles, but the longer they actually have the console, the harder it is apparently to get rid of it or something like that. Um,
Listen, here's what they need to do, right?
Makes
Instead
illegal.
of selling it for $1,000, which is what I've seen most people try to sell the PlayStation 5 for, they literally just need to be like, okay, I paid. How much is the console right now? Like $500.
Yeah.
I'll sell it for $600. I just made $100 profit. That I can understand.
Well, it's like
But they'll
not
sell
even
it for
understand.
double
Like,
the price.
if anything, that even like that's still bad. But it's like if anything, it's like okay, that's at least like doable. Like it's like okay, it's an extra $100. Like it still sucks, but
It still sucks.
you're not
but
paying an exuberant fee for it.
Exactly, and that's what most people are tend to doing right now. And you know what? Props for Microsoft for doing this. I'm hoping that obviously PlayStation does the same thing.
Well, I think it's just more because of the fact that like just right now supplies are so limited that they're just telling people like, hey, just to let you know, like limited supplies will continue into 2022 because we just can't get out enough stock. So.
No, like yes, I can understand that mentality, but I also do believe that because of the whole, not everybody, because they're getting complaints for stuff that they didn't even cost in the first place. What caused it is people being dicks and fucking buying a bunch of the consoles and sticking them to their fucking garage. Like, that's what really caused the issues. And that's why they're getting complaints left and right.
And then you have
that's what even though, as hard as they try to do to pump more out, they can't pump out enough to satisfy the demand.
Yeah.
Because they are out there, it's just they're being sold for $1,000 each.
God, don't like you want to know what's scarier than like trying to get an Xbox Series X? Trying to get the limited edition Halo console.
Ooh.
Joker.
Especially the Halo one, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny because like I do want to get that, like, and I'll like see then about giving away my current Series X console, but it's like it's just one of those where it's like just even getting my current Series X, I was stupid lucky on that. Getting a Halo console, like I know that Joker was able to get one, Pro-ish Joker, but that would be like getting lightning in a bottle twice. That shit just doesn't happen.
Okay. Alright, hold on. Actually, now that you mentioned that, I actually Googled this the other day. Apparently, lightning can hit twice in the same spot, and it is more likely than you think.
Interesting.
I know. So, you know what? It could happen. Getting the Halo one, maybe a little bit less. Because let's be real, once that shit hit pre-order, boom,
yeah,
they all went.
I'll be honest, I still don't know what's more ridiculous. To be honest, the fact that I've seen an Xbox Series X go up for about like $1 million on eBay, or
dude,
like I think that was just for like a bidding war where Bosch just kind of like kept bumping up the goddamn price.
Oh my god.
Or the fact that I once saw a video of someone who, I don't know if they're like smoking like marijuana or whatever, but they had so much ash on their PS5, right, that everyone was looking at it and they're like, we can't even get a PS5. Here you have one, and you're just treating it so badly. And then in the video, the guy's like, oh, look at this. My PS5 can't even handle a little ash. It's just like, you paid my soul. Like, what are you doing? Like, just stop.
Oh my god.
It's like just the things that people do.
Dude, I've seen people use their console as fucking cup holders. Or just like, one of those like things to like put the cup on top of. Yeah. I'm like, a coaster, excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that for the OG Xbox ones. I've seen people do that. I think I've actually seen people try to make scrambled eggs on that shit. Getting into a little bit of sadder news, though, we have the Little Big Planet 1 through 3 servers being shut down, including the PS Vita ones.
That is... Isn't a Little Big Planet 3 like the newest one?
No, no,
Or
no,
was there another one?
no. There was a I believe a newer one, but yeah, no. This one actually does hit me a bit.
Oh
In the
yeah, there's a fourth one.
Yeah, this one actually does hit me in the feels though because I do remember that one of the my favorite games for the PS3 was Little Big Planet 3, and you remember the shark levels back in high school,
Yeah.
the shark survivals, and how I would always
Mhm.
survive to the very end, just
Oh
so
my god,
goddamn
that's
how.
so stupid. I'm surprised. This is a 7-year-old game. I feel like there's games out there that's still running. But you know what? I mean, I don't know. Little Big Planet sounded like a huge game, but I don't know. I feel like the population that actually plays the game was just not there.
Or it's just like smaller than you thought.
I thought, it's like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's smaller than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, it sounded like such a like, it's an awesome game, especially if you get into those maps that are like very, very like detailed. Like, you're pressing this button, and then there's a whole
Oh
puzzle.
my god.
And it's
I
also
just.
remember like there's people who have actually designed these puzzles manually.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like, here you put the puzzle here. No, you put the button here, and then you connect a cable, and then you connect it to another thing, which is also manually made, that registers, okay, he pressed this button.
Dude, I don't even know how. I didn't even know how to spawn in a goddamn rock into Little Big Planet.
Dude, yeah,
like,
no.
just in
Me
creative
neither.
mode. But yeah,
But no,
no.
those games were fun.
Yeah, and it's like I just remember back in the day, just like the shark survival. Did you ever play the Bora Bora level? Like, it was like a vacation.
Yes.
Dude, just the
Yes,
the
those
feels
are
of
awesome games.
the Nazi
Last
zombies
one to
level,
live.
the Doris.
Yep.
Um,
Like, those are so creative, so creative games, and like, let's be real, we wasted so many hours on one map because we all wanted to live at least once.
and
Oh,
I just
nope.
no, and it's like I just remember dying on the Bora Bora level, and then you had Ender 12, who was just like, how do you die on Bora Bora? Like that shouldn't even be possible. I'm like, I don't know. It's me. I find shit apparently. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
So for Little Big Planet 3, honestly, the online that aspect that will definitely be missed. And soon enough, we're gonna be saying goodbye to the Halo servers from the 360 days. So we'll definitely be giving a shout out to that when that happens. And perhaps even would you be down for like a bit of a memorial montage? Not like an actual montage, but like a bit of a memorial kind of like story for that. Just like kind of reminiscing about the old times, like back during the 360 days, or no?
I'll let you know.
All right. Let's see. Hey Caesar,
Hmm.
would you believe me if I told you that rumor has it we're gonna have a new Call of Duty in 2022?
Oh shit! Here we go again. We're getting another one. What is it about now?
So this one is rumored to be about the modern. So you remember the Modern Warfare that got released in 2019, right? This
Yep.
one is supposed to be a sequel that's about a drug war,
I mean,
and that's all the information the article had.
let's be real. So, when it comes to like Call of Duty games in general,
They're all
they've
the fucking
all
same.
Huh?
They're all the fucking same.
No. What I'm gonna say is that they've all tackled, at least for the campaign wise, right? They've all tackled a topic that was an issue in that certain time period, and also stuff that we normal people don't get to see, like in day to day. So I'm kind of like in a way glad that they're
Trying
But
something
it's-
new with the story.
not something new. Obviously, it's gonna be the same old shit. Let's be real. Somebody's gonna die, and you're gonna have that one level where you're gonna be by yourself, and they're gonna have that one character you really, really like, and he's gonna die too. And
Mitchell.
literally, if you go to every single Call of Duty game in the past, at least one person that they meant to for you to like, they died.
So it's basically just a
R.I.P.
factory
Ghost.
assembly line.
Rest in pepperoni's ghost, man.
But
The good huge homie.
yeah, I just saw this and I'm like, oh cool, drug war, Call of Duty. All right, can I go back to work now? Like,
Honestly, this would be iconic if they allow you to like grab a pile of cocaine and just throw it at the other person. Imagine.
Me like kind of do like what John Wick did, but with drugs instead. Just like
Yes.
he's like here's a bag. He's like you just see dust burst all over the
A
place.
brick of cocaine just hit in the face, bah! And then that's just smoke grenade.
Yeah, really. That's just like your tactic grenade. It's just like it's like meth out. Well, in terms of news that people would actually give a shit about, because let's be honest, COD is just it's called it releases every goddamn year.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers has now come to Game Pass.
I'm honestly not surprised because the game has such a massive hype behind it, and it did not do well. This game is a glorified piece of shit. That's what it's a dumpster
just with
fire.
the name of Marvel slapped on it as well as Avengers.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't surprise me that it was shot to the Game Pass because on PC, it had such a good backing, but then it just fizzled out. That's all that it was.
Now, I actually since it did come to Game Pass, I actually did download it and try it out. I'm gonna be honest, I got so bored in 5 minutes, like just in terms of, cause I was expecting like, okay, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna start at the beginning of the story. It's like, no, you don't start at the beginning of the story. I started in a helicarrier, right? Like with a whole bunch of shield agents, and I'm like, what the fuck am I playing? This is like completely opposite to what I was expecting, right? And then I get to the combat simulator, right? And I'm Iron Man, and I can't fly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Goddamn Anthem, for the piece of shit that it was a better Iron Man simulator than this. Like, what the fuck?
Honestly, if you can't make Iron Man or even the Hulk fun to play, the game is gonna be a dumpster fire.
Well, it's like, it's one
and
of those
unfortunately,
things
that's
like,
the game is only fun if you're playing with friends and you're actually gonna invest some hours into it, because you can't. Okay, so just saying, you can fly as Iron Man, but you can only fly in the missions, and I believe you need to get to that point in the levels to be able to fly.
Yeah, because, like, it was the only way I was, like, able to fly or whatever is if I was sprinting and he would kind of do, like, that hover sprint or whatever. And I'm like, this is not flying. This is just pathetic and boring. I don't like this. Like, again, if I want to fly at this point, I'll just go back to fucking Anthem for, like, 2 goddamn minutes and have my fun there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. So, in terms of games that I would recommend, this is probably not one of them just because, yeah.
Avoid it.
Yeah, pretty much. In terms of some good additions, though, to online services, we have Nintendo Switch getting the N64 and Genesis collection. Now this, I'm actually really goddamn happy about.
Dude, when I heard the news about this, I was like in heaven, because I'm trying to like pull up the list right now of the games that are being brought over.
Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, which I'm actually surprised they put in Mario 64 just because they had that release for Mario All-Stars.
Okay, here you go. So I have the list right here. So we're getting Dr. Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Mario Tennis, Sin and Punishment, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Win-Back Covert Operations, I don't know what the fuck that is, Yoshi's Story, and these other ones will be added at a later time, but they will be added. Banjo-Kazooie, F-Zero X, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, Pokemon Snap, and Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.
Now, I'm just going to say right now, they missed out on 2 very good opportunities right here to bring back Smash Brothers 64 and Pokemon Stadium.
Okay, I agree with you on the Smash Bros 64. Pokemon Stadium, I think, is still, I don't know. I think that game, at least it was not it for me. It was too simplistic.
No, but it's like at the same time.
For its time, I could see yes,
yeah,
it was fun. I just think now.
Well, it's like, I mean, a lot of the games are simplistic from back then, but it's one of those. I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually amazed they're bringing back Banjo-Kazooie, just because of the fact that Rare now works for Microsoft. So I'm amazed that actually got let through.
All right, but now just so that we don't leave out the Genesis games out of the mentioning.
I know that they're Sonic and that's it.
Yeah. So there is Castlevania Bloodlines,
Okay, I heard of that one.
Contra Hard Corps,
Heard of that one.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine,
Never heard of that.
Echo the Dolphin,
Wait, what?
Golden Axe,
What?
Gunstar Heroes, Ristar, Shining Force, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Street of Rage 2, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Shinobi 3, and Strider.
Okay, I just have one question. Are you
Mhm.
sure you didn't mix up Golden Axe with Golden Eye?
No, it says Golden Axe. I whole fucking wish they bring Golden Eye to the fucking release on this list. That's a game that I wanted to mention that I wish they would have added. Cause oh my god, the replayability on that game, if it were to come back.
Yeah, and then it's the fact that they're also gonna be selling the Sega controllers and
The Genesis
yeah,
controllers.
Genesis controllers. My bad. The Genesis controllers and the N64 wireless controller, which I'm gonna be honest, I actually want to get. Now, unfortunately, I believe that they said that these games would be part of a different subscription, one that you're gonna have to pay for. Um,
It will be an added package which you can get by when you buy the regular online for Nintendo Switch. You can add on this package to that pricing already. It will be like an extra, like they said, maybe an extra $10 or $15. Or pricing is not set in stone yet.
just make it an extra $5, just please for love
I
of
highly
God.
doubt it's gonna be an extra $5 as reveal here, but because regular online right now is $15 for a month. I'm thinking maybe they'll stack up another $10 on top of that for you to be able to play the games for the expansion pack. And yeah, it is an extra pack that you can either buy the online or you can buy the online plus the expansion pack for you to play those games.
I'll be honest, I might get it once or whatever, just to kind of have that like huge ass nostalgia moment. But
Oh,
I don't,
100%.
yeah,
Same.
but I don't know like how much longer I'll like be on it. Um, but I still think that they should have added Pokemon Stadium and
Mm-hmm.
just because just mainly I think it's just because of the fact that they added Pokemon Snap. So just why not also add Pokemon Stadium? Just because that was a majorly popular game back in the day, as well as just adding Smash. Again, they've already released Mario 3D All Stars, and they're also going to be releasing Mario 64 for the service, but they're not going to do Smash Bros. Like,
Hey, they didn't say that they weren't gonna add more in the future.
okay, that's a fair
So
argument.
now, obviously, when I get this, my biggest thing when I'm gonna play is I'm actually gonna finish Star Fox 64 because I never actually beat the game. Because I would always get stuck on that one level where Skippy would Sleepy, excuse me, would get slapped like by one of the bosses, and he would land on this fucking desert planet, which he had to use the Landmaster for, and
Landmaster.
and you know he gets like caught by this like tentacle monster, and you have to like shoot the. It was hard to level. I could not beat it.
Japanese
Nah,
anime
shut up.
fans, you know what we're talking about.
I don't know, but it's like the one level where there's like a lot of screaming and you have to like dodge and you have to shoot at the same time, and my poor little brain could not handle it at that time, at that moment in time.
Yeah.
And also they do have the pricing actually for the controllers for the Nintendo 64
I
and the
believe it's
Genesis
like
controller.
$50 each.
$50 each. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's one of those I wouldn't mind buying a controller and just kind of having like a second one in sealed packaging. Yeah, I'm now getting to the point where it's just like I kind of just want to get things in just like sealed packaging or whatever. Like I actually
Oh my
just
God.
got my you met Halo ODST. I actually just rebought the game and I got it sealed in plastic.
Ah.
So
Honestly, if I were to buy this, I would buy the Nintendo 64 controller and I would use it to play the games.
yeah, no, honestly, that's what I'm gonna plan on.
Get the full
gonna do,
nostalgia out
yeah.
of this.
Um, yeah, no. So really happy with Nintendo on that. I think
Mhm.
they did fucking huge with the Direct. Um, speaking and continuing on to the games being added, we have PlayStation acquiring Blue Point Games.
I'm actually kind of excited about this because they're the ones who made Shadow of the Colossus.
Ooh.
So I'm expecting big things from them because of how well received that game was and how it's still a awesome looking game even up to today's standards.
Now, I just want to quickly point out the irony that I think it was actually someone from over at Sony who said that, oh, yeah, no, like, we're committed to growing our internal studios and not having to buy our way to success like Microsoft
Uh
and
huh.
acquisition. Again, like, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be able to do it. I'm just, just kind of pointing out just the irony. It's like, you're calling Microsoft for buying companies. You just bought one.
Oh,
Uh,
excuse me. And they also made Demon Souls.
Demon Souls,
So
that does sound familiar. I don't think I've ever played it or seen gameplay, but I have heard that quite a few times, that name.
it is the game that came before Dark Souls, and it is the first. It was the
So
first Souls game.
it's basically the first game that made you want to destroy your controller in the first 5 minutes.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. But Demon Souls for when it came out, also an amazing looking game. Shadow of the Colossus, if anybody has ever played it or seen gameplay, you would understand why this company is known and why
That was such a
there's
poor
big
decision to make.
expectations out of this company.
Yeah, you I forget. Did you ever play Shadow of the Colossus PS4?
I never play Shadow of the Colossus myself, but I've seen other people play it, and
It's
that's what I'm saying.
it's funny. Part of me wanted to actually get Shadow of the Colossus for the PS4, but I was like, you know what? I already have it on PS2. I already have it on PS3. There's no reason to get
Mhm.
this again. Although this is coming from someone who has bought like Halo and MCC more fucking times than I can count, so I really can't say shit on that matter. But speaking of just like Shadow of the Colossus and whatnot, just a little fun fact for those of you who may not know, there is currently a fan project going on created by Shadow of the Colossus community, where they're making it so that you can actually fight against the original 8 beta colossi that never made it into the game.
Oh,
So
neat.
yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. From what I heard, it's gonna be free 'cause I don't even think they can even monetize that. So
No,
yeah, but so if you're a fan of Shadow of the
it,
Colossus or if you've never tried it, might be something worth checking out.
it is.
Um,
I just one last thing to mention about the Shadow of the Colossus.
yeah, go for it.
I want to say is that I think it is one of the first games that really put the emphasis on, hey, just because this creature is 60 times your size
And scary looking.
and scary looking, and it's destroying part of the world around you, does not mean you can't kill it. Even though next to it, you're the size of a mouse.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think the creatures, and maybe like lore or like the actual story wise, they did. But when you fought the actual creatures, they didn't really go around destroying the environments. They just kind of like wandered around, and then you were just like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you now." And they're just like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they were like, no! And then,
"Yep."
no! Come over here,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
gonna kill
It
you.
was definitely poetic. The fact that it's like, oh, big scary giant creature, like I must kill. And it's just like, dog, they ain't doing anything to you. Like they just want to be left alone. But yeah, no,
Yep.
it was a very kind of it was a sad but kind of like beautiful realization to kind of like realize that we're just like, oh wow, like they're just kind of minding their own business and we're the ones going after them. Like, are we the
Yeah.
bad guy? Um,
Question mark? Play the game.
but continuing on with the topic of games, Game Pass has apparently now reached around 30 million subscribers.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be more than that.
This is probably around the estimate which I actually thought. No one actually confirmed the fact that it was actually at 30 million, but they said that it was around 30 million. And honestly, I really do hope that continues to grow. I want it so that Microsoft, because they really are creating the Netflix of gaming. Um, and there's no argument about that. Game Pass, it is a very good deal. It's just Game Pass. I'm curious to see though, at what point will potentially kind of max out its population, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
Like if it's like around 40 million, 50 million, you know.
I think this number will just continue to increase as more and more people decide to buy a console and realize that, hey, I don't need to buy physical versions. I
Well, it's
can
like
just
it's not
buy
even the console
this.
itself though. You can also get it and then use it on PC. Like that,
Yeah,
like that's the entire draw of it too.
I
Like
mean, no, yeah, 100%. But then also remember that the majority of the demographic that this is applying for is mostly for console people, not for people on the PC. Because on the PC, we already don't need to have a physical version. This applies more for console.
yeah, sure. You still always have the option though.
Uh
But
huh.
yeah, no. So with that mentioned, shall we get into another fun chapter of our friends over at Activision?
Oh god, let me dig up the hole and find out what's going on down there in hell where they
So,
belong.
for those of you who don't know, Activision has been going through a lot of stuff as of recently, and now they have gotten well, not Activision the company itself, but Bobby Kotick has been subpoenaed by the securities I forgot what the C stood for. The Securities Change Commission or something like that. Securities Exchange. Yeah, I think it's the Securities Exchange Commission or something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the link, but I can't find it.
Um, I'll see what you do now. This is what happens when you have about 10,000 topics just like all lined up.
Uh huh.
Um, but yeah, no. So it's just Activision. They're just getting whammied so hard all over. Not that I feel bad for them by any stretch of the imagination, by the way.
No.
Because they honestly just are deserving every ounce of karma that they can get, and as I'm still trying to find this, oh my god, dude, it's so much. Again, like the fact that there's even stuff I wanted to leave out for this episode.
Oh wait, here we go. I found it. Yay.
Nice.
Okay, so let's see. Da 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 da. No, fuck you, ad. Let me see here. Exchange Commission. Yep, the Securities of Exchange Commission.
All right, so I was right on the acronym.
Mm-hmm.
Federal regulators have launched an investigation into Activision Blizzard, including how the video game company handled employee allegations of sexual misconduct and workplace discrimination. You know, again, it's with Activision, it's just you're not even surprised at this point anymore. Um,
No, I mean anything any news that keeps popping up about Activision at this point, we kind of just assume it was a thing, and they just were kind of trying to burn the papers so they would hide it. But then somebody was like, "Nah, this actually happened."
yeah, and I remember I watched Young Yak. You know who Young Yak is, right?
Uh huh.
Yeah, I remember watching a video on that he did on it a while ago, and he was reading an article, and they're saying like, "Oh yeah, no, like the PR human resources person or whatever." They're saying like, "Oh yeah, no, we're happy to comply with the security exchange like during their investigations." Like, yeah, cause you got no choice. Like, oh my god, man. It's
Yeah, I
just
mean, this doesn't surprise me, and the next topic does not surprise me either, cause shit's just going downhill.
um. Do you need to come back to this or?
No, I think we all know they're a piece of shit, and
All right.
bye.
So continue on with stuff that's related to Activision. We have an executive producer for Overwatch 2 has I think they have left Blizzard, not is leaving Blizzard anymore, but has left Blizzard.
Yeah, no, at this point, yes, they have left already. If I could get his name real quick.
You can
So,
search it up on Google.
no, I found it. Chaco Sony, executive producer of for Overwatch 2 and the first Overwatch, is leaving Blizzard. At this point, he has left already. I would assume because after, the director, Jeff Kaplan, left earlier in the year, I don't think he I don't think he
It's
wants
just
in on the
it's just a fucking mess.
dude.
Like
They're losing all the
yeah,
people that
I will say this. If anything, I do feel bad for the whole Overwatch community right now because of the fact that I do know that Overwatch 2 was a very, very hyped game, and just everything that's coming out is just when the parent company of the publisher and whatnot, or the developer, like when they just do so much bad shit, it gets hard to support a game. You know, like it gets hard to support a project of theirs. Like,
Yeah.
as much as you may love it, it becomes next to impossible. So like, and I do feel for them, and it's like I know that I've even seen some people on Twitter say that as much as they do love the franchise, they're considering not getting the game anymore after just everything that's happened with that division. Not that I necessarily blame them. So, but
Funny enough, he didn't actually say what he was leaving. He just kind of like told him, "Nah, I'm quitting. Bye." Obviously, we all know what the fuck he was quitting.
yeah.
But
So in terms of more, I don't know if I would want to say positive as much as it is interesting news. We had the Mario movie voice cast now announced, and Mario is not being played by his original voice actor, but by Chris Pratt. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be very curious to see how this plays out. Like, just yeah. And then I think it's like Jack Black is either gonna be playing Bowser or Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, I believe. Hold on, let me
Um,
see if I can find the actual link.
yeah. I mean, I'm just typing it on Google right now.
Oh,
Mario movie.
listen, I'm mostly just excited for Jack Black. I find Jack Black to be hilarious in almost every movie that he's a part of.
Yeah. So.
Um,
Oh no! Wait. Oh no! No. I don't want the like 1988 movie. God, that's no. Yeah. So he'll be played by Chris Pratt. Here we go. Give me the IMDb. Where are the? So we have Anya Taylor-Joy playing Princess Peach. I don't know her for the life of me. Chris Pratt playing Mario. Charlie Day playing Luigi, which is interesting. Yep, no, Jack Black, he's playing Bowser.
Bowser, 100% watching this shit now.
Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong.
I mean, okay.
We have Keegan-Michael Key playing Toad. I feel so bad for that guy's voice. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like, goddamn, he's gonna need so much water. Rest. We have Fred Armisen playing Cranky Kong. Which was Cranky Kong in Donkey Kong 64?
Yes, it's the old man with the very long beard.
We have Kevin Michael. It says RIC ... I'm just gonna say Rick. I probably just butchered his name, but whatever. Playing as Kamek, which who the heck is Kamek? Do you know?
I have no idea.
And then we have Sebastian something playing as Spike. I really want to know.
Oh wait, I think isn't Spike one of the Bowser children?
Oh yeah, no, he actually could be. Yeah.
And the other one is also a Bowser child.
Voice Kamek. Unless you're talking about Kamek.
Oh no, Kamek I think is the wizard that follows Bowser.
Oh yeah. Dude,
damn,
how
the fuck they gotta make him fly?
Well, no. They're just gonna be voicing the characters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make this live action. At least, God, I hope not. But it's one of those. I'm very curious to see what kind of move they make if they're including Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, like.
I'm just surprised
Luigi.
somebody's not playing Yoshi.
Yoshi. I mean, really, they've added Donkey Kong. Why not just add Yoshi? Oh, and I think they actually also have someone playing Daisy.
What? I mean, there is Luigi, so I guess Daisy's not too far fetched.
Let's see. Yeah, I could have sworn they had someone playing Daisy. Just give me 1 second on that.
But yeah, no, I think. So obviously, with some voice adjustments and enough money being paid up front, Anybody will do these roles. Um,
I just kind of feel bad for the original voice actor for Mario though. Like, I mean, I guess I get it. Like, maybe they want someone who's gonna be able to be more lively in the uh, voice role or whatnot. But considering the fact that this guy's been playing Mario for like how many years now, you know, like I don't know, it just feels like a slight slap in the face to me.
it could be something internal as well. Maybe the guy doesn't want to do Mario anymore, even though how popular the person is.
Or maybe it's just gonna require a lot of lines and like with him getting older and whatnot. Not saying
Yeah.
that he's like too old for work or whatnot, but um, but yeah, no. So moving on to some of our final topics, unless you got anything more you want to say.
Nope.
So we just had Halo Infinite's second flight, which took place over the course of 2 weekends. I was kind of hoping we would be able to make this episode about 2 weeks ago, just so I could let everyone know about the beta. But stuff happens, timing stuff happens. So
Nah, now you wait for the game.
yeah, really. Um, you know, so for those who may not know, Halo Infinite had its second flight, which took place over the course of 2 weekends. I forgot the exact dates on them, but basically they introduced Big Team Battle. They introduced new guns, one such as the shock rifle. They introduced the shock grenade, I believe it's called. You were able to drive in a tank for the first time, as well as a Warthog. You were able to fly the new Banshee and the new Wasp, I believe.
Mm.
The Big Team Battle map, it was fairly fun. Unfortunately, it got boring fairly fast because was the only Big Team Battle map that you could play on. But it was funny though, because something that Joker and several others and myself tried to do, right, was that we tried like camping under the base, and then we tried like locking ourselves like in a room or whatever. So it's like, hey, enemies, if you want to get us, we're all in here. Guess what? As soon as you open the door, just every single gun would be pointed at you at once. So now the funny thing is, we actually got close to winning a couple games. We were like 10 or 15 points under because we had teammates who just couldn't get back in the cave, or just teammates who just
Oh my
were
god.
like, yeah, no. But honestly, if we actually managed to win that would have been goddamn hilarious. Like that would have been like YouTube worthy right there. Um, and then we also got a new 4v4 arena map called, I believe it was Behemoth, unless that was the Big Team Battle map. I don't believe that was the Big Team Battle map. But Behemoth, very fun. It's like a desert theme map with Forerunner structures in it. Um, it was yeah, no, it was fun. So, and then I don't know if I've linked you any clips of this, Caesar, but during this second Halo fight, we had the reemergence of an old fan favorite Halo button combo. Have you ever heard of the BXB?
BXP.
Yep. Bash,
Mm.
reload, bash.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
So
If you're not doing that in the regular Halo games, you're missing
yeah.
out.
So for those of you who have never heard of the BXB, it used to be called the BXR in the original Halo 2 days, where basically you would bash and then you would reload when you because like back in those days or whatever, the reload would cancel like a lot of animations and whatnot. So basically, you would bash, reload, and then you would immediately shot, creating for like an instant kind of kill thing. And if you did that with meleeing, you could melee a lot faster. But the thing is, you had to time it right, because if you failed it, then the melee wouldn't register all the way through. So in this new flight, people recognized the fact that the BXB was back, except it was BXB on steroids. Now, what I mean by that is that there's absolutely no skill needed to um, do that at all, the button combination. And in fact, you could literally, like, all you had to do was use up a single bullet in the clip of your gun, and then all you had to do was just spam reload and bash at the same time, and your sparring just kind of did like a flailing motion. And the best part is, and I did take a clip of this. So say if someone were to pop an overshield, right? Normally you would run away from him. With this, hell no. If they had an overshield, you would just go right up to them and beat the living shit out of them before they could even shoot an entire clip at you. It was gorgeous. Like, no words could just describe the beauty.
I can just imagine somebody walking over with a pistol and be like, "Fuck you."
Like, and it was just, I remember, I sent a clip of that to some of my friends on Discord, right? And it was just like, when your significant other pisses you off, and it's just like, beep, 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 beep. But yeah, no, it was pretty goddamn funny. Like, and I think it also had just like stupid goddamn range. And if I didn't show you the clips either, I will after this episode.
I wonder if you could do that, but then remember how sometimes when you would do the hidden animation, it would like magnetically pull you towards the person.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few clips of that. It was just like, it was just like
that's still a thing.
Flailing arms plus lunge equals
Plus
my
lunge
god.
equals instant die. Equals energy sword without the energy sword.
No, so like something else I actually did with the bond combination besides wreck a few people with the overshield, because let's be honest, for once overshield met its goddamn maker, and it wasn't even the
Yeah,
rockets.
he wasn't even rockets. He was just a man
Or a smart
burning his
laser.
fist.
But like one of the best things to do, right? You remember how annoying tanks can be, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if there was like ever like a damaged tank, or like if an enemy was in a tank, who needs a grenade? Just bash that motherfucker to death. Like,
I mean, technically.
And like it would basically just go down in the span of like 5 seconds. It's, oh my god.
I mean, let's be real. If somebody were to try to come, do you see a guy running at you, flailing his fist now? We just run the fucker over.
Now, I just want to say right now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that this is gonna get patched, but it's one of those where I kind of wish that this was after the game had been released. That way we could possibly at least keep this glitch for campaign. Because think about it this way, right? Especially if we have to face Escharam as a boss in the Halo Infinite campaign. How much fun do you think it would be as a meme to just be like, it's like, oh, you're the final boss, dies in like 30 seconds.
He's like, hold my beer, give me right back.
It's like, hold on, I got a galaxy to save. It's like, what are you going to use? My fists.
My fist. I mean, okay, let's be real. If anybody were to do that, it'd be Master Chief.
Yeah.
No gun? No worry. No pistol? It's fine. What are you gonna use? My fist. Like,
Just
they're trained to fight. Does it matter how they fight?
Nah, not really. First real Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. And
Yeah,
there's just no
exactly.
rules. But yeah, no. So I think I'll be honest. I think out of everything in the flight that happened over the last couple weeks, I think that was honestly the most hilarious and amusing thing. Don't get me wrong. Again, it was broken. It's all shit, but it was hella fun.
Yeah.
And then so moving on to more probably interesting news. We finally got our final Smash character for Ultimate. And regrettably, it was not actually Master Chief, as much pain and hurt is currently in my soul to say that. But we did get Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
So something funny that I heard some people mention online is that apparently Nintendo had bought the rights to some of the music in Kingdom Hearts literally a week or two before the Sora release, and that's when people realized that, oh shit, it's Sora. So it's I don't know if Nintendo let this slip or it was on purpose, but I mean, it's still Sora. It's great. It's an awesome character. A lot of people were expecting it literally the first character to come out, but
yeah. And I mean, I'll say this. I'm just glad it's not a goddamn another Fire Emblem Fates character or another goddamn Sword.
Oh my god!
Like, God, if they did that, I would be like, Nintendo, I officially hate you, and I'm never buying another Smash game. Of course, that would be a goddamn lie, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But yeah, no, and then I just remember one of the comments being like on the announcement video that like it's like dude, it's like Sora's like the real fucking champion here, man. He's the king of crossovers. Like he went from like all the Disney worlds and he's now in the Smash Brothers world, man. And it's just like this is just new for him and everyone. And I saw another comment just saying like, so this is what happened to Sora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, no, actually, there's a meme that's running around that because apparently I guess Sephiroth and Cloud were in a in a Kingdom Hearts game, or they were there for like a brief moment, and they both got sent back to their worlds, and the end scene for that moment it says, Sora, Duck, Donald, and Goofy, and Sora says, I'm hoping they went back to their own world. And then you see the same picture, but then you see the release of Cloud in Smash, and then you see Sephiroth as well, and then you see Sora. It's like, yep, now we know where they went.
My God.
I still find it hilarious. I still think it's great, you know, the from what we saw of what the character can do. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't have Goofy and Donald as well with him.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Maybe for like a Final Smash though, unless people already.
No, not even for a Final
really?
Smash. Nope. The Final Smash is literally him just creating like a door, and he just like kicks or like hits the people inside, and he just like closes the door with his keyblade.
I just realized something. You know how when Sora moves, he's just always floating and whatnot?
Uh-huh.
He's basically just the equivalent of Disney's Peter Pan.
Yeah, don't let the mouse hear you say that. Yeah, no, it is still a good, cool character. I'm waiting to see if he'll be top tier, but he probably won't because people are saying he's too floaty. So, I mean, it's still anticipated. People are gonna buy it.
Jigglypuff was a very floaty character, and even Jigglypuff like managed to rise to the cream of the crop. Things still hungry box. But yeah, no, like we'll definitely say, it's funny. Like some of these characters for Smash, I actually want to buy, but I'm like at the same time, I don't play the goddamn game.
Yeah.
I don't know. As I said before, for me, Smash, I do cherish that franchise very much because it is a franchise which I've played ever since I was a kid, and like it is very much a fun game. But there's just something very much about Smash Ultimate where it's like I felt like they I don't know. For me, it was just the fact that like a story mode or lack of like classic mode, um, and then just the fact that it's like just all the fighters just seem diluted, I guess you could say. Where it's like it just feels like there's so many garbage characters that don't need to be there. And I think that's just mainly because of the Echo Fighters, but
Like who? Who do you think should not be in Smash?
like half the sword characters.
Okay, in respect to the characters themselves, they're actually unique in their own games. And
No,
I can see
I'm not
why
saying, yeah. I'm not saying
they got put
not.
in.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not saying
I can reassure you, there's a lot more of them that could have been in the game but weren't. So let's be grateful on that end.
I just remember seeing a meme, right, where it was basically like Mario and Zelda kind of like preparing for like the newcomer, right? And Mario's just like, guys, what are you doing? And it's just like, welcome, new Fire Emblem face character. It's like the character hasn't even been decided yet. Now this next topic, unless you had anything else you wanted to add before we moved on.
Nope.
So this next topic actually might cause some friction. So IGN actually had a competition for the best video game of all time. And like you can already see it on the screen, but so out of I don't know if it was like 24 to 48 games or something like that, but out of all of them, God of War PS4 managed to come out on top.
I am not surprised because the God of War that came out for the PlayStation 4, it is unique. It is amazing, and I highly suggest people play it because I just think it is that fucking good of a game. Of all time, that could be left to
Debatable.
personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because this
I'll
is
be honest,
from what they did. It's just a matter of people voted, and you know
Yeah.
what? They just so happen to be more people who played the God of War game, voted.
Yeah.
So
Now, it's one of those. I don't deny the fact that God of War is a good game, and I'll say this: like, I wouldn't be surprised if like there were some people who just voted for God of War as opposed to Grand Theft Auto just because.
Fuck Grand Theft Auto. What the fuck? Didn't you see the conversation we had a couple minutes ago about it?
No, that's my point. Because the final face-off was, I believe, between God of War and like Grand Theft Auto. And even at that point, I've been like, okay, just fuck Grand Theft Auto. Well,
Yeah.
just fuck the game, honestly. But I'm actually surprised that and while I will say this, I'm not really too surprised that Halo 2 didn't get all the way to the top. I mean, as a Halo fanboy, I would have loved to see it, but even I know that probably never would have happened. But like even something like Ocarina of Time, and just some other games, like I'm surprised like didn't kind of like make
So
it farther.
okay, so with those games, right? Obviously, they're old games. Now, are they still good for their own respect? Of course they are.
Yeah,
But the thing about all of those games is that they all kind of had the same. Uh, they all follow like a very cookie cutter
formula
like
layout.
idea, a formula. Yes, for each of their games. For God of War, especially for the one for the PlayStation 4, I'm not gonna say that it's not the same hack and slash like you saw on the other games, but the story was different, and that's what captivated so many people.
Yeah,
It hooked everybody on something new, and they actually liked it.
new and fresh.
It's one of those situations where a company takes a risk and it pays off really well.
Was like I think also the thing with God of War, and correct me if I'm wrong in this, but like while it tried something new, it still stayed in line with.
It's still true to who he is,
Yeah.
who he
Well, it's
is.
like also they stayed true to what made the God of War games the God of War. Where like instead of like, because what was the original ones about, like Greek mythology and whatnot?
Yeah, the him trying to fight against the gods
Yeah,
in Olympus.
and so they just went a different route. And it's like, okay, instead of continuing on with more Greek or trying to complete a different thing, like let's go on with mythology, but a different mythology. So
Yeah, no, because so if you played the God of War games, he takes the fight against the Olympian gods. Obviously, he fucking destroys a lot of the Olympian gods.
I mean,
And
he definitely destroys Aphrodite. I know that much.
dude, and let's like so he takes the fights, right? He goes after the third is it the third game or the second game? After the second game or the third game, he fights Zeus. And at that point, kind of spoiler alert, but he beats him. But at this point, he has to run because obviously he can't really kill off Zeus.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back and he's gonna be angry. So he has to run. And that's where this game kind of takes place, where he's running all the way over to Asgard to hide away, start a new life. And it seems that things are following him back from from what
Yeah.
he not that the same gods are following him, except for if you haven't played the new game, here's a spoiler alert: you get to see Athena again multiple times. But she's telling him that, oh, you can't run away from your past. It's like it's always gonna be behind. It's always gonna be following you. It's no matter where you go. And after you play through the game, he kind of realizes that, hey, she ain't wrong, but I can at least do something right. And it's like he can do something right and like provide more for his kid
Yeah.
and show him a better future and whatever, and protecting him from the things that are going after him and not necessarily the kid.
Yeah. Now, just before we actually do move on to our final topic, which is probably going to be a short one, but I just want to quickly say that in regards to God of War 2, the new one that's going to be coming out for the PS5 and whatnot, like in regards to the whole Norse mythos and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
Thor's design is cool.
Dude, I love his design. I also love Tyr's design. They're not sticking to like their like stereotypical Buffy guy
Yeah,
just because
yeah.
they're a god. No, these guys are fucking tired. These guys are angry, and they're here to kick ass, no matter what they look like.
And it's just like one of those where it's like I respect the fact that they went such a different route compared to like how Marvel took it, and that's even what I don't know if it was like a historian or whatever said,
Uh
but
huh.
the fact that they actually decided to take more of a creative risk with Thor and make it more so like he may be like of a larger build, but
Uh
he's
huh.
still like a very strong, powerful
Oh yeah,
person.
like they took the route of like these are still actual people, and you know what? People eat, people let themselves go,
Yeah,
but he's still a god, and he still will kick your ass. So,
he'll shove that hammer up your ass.
I mean, but dude, Tyr, when you see him, I don't know if you saw him from like the pictures that they released on Twitter,
Nah,
but he's fucking tall. But he's built. He's strong.
yeah,
But he's tall as fuck.
yeah.
And
So
he's spooky.
yeah. So ending off with today's episode, for our final topic, we have the Xbox Legends Monsters Within event coming out. I believe it's on the 15th of this month. Let me
Is it?
just.
I thought it was already out.
No, it's not actually out yet.
Hmm.
Uh, if I could just quickly look it up on my goddamn phone because I am like terrible with goddamn everything. Um, but yeah, no. So this, I believe, this event is going to be running up until the end ending of October or
Uh,
something.
from October 12th to November 2nd.
Okay, so it's 3 days before the 15th. What I was thinking 50. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Back for Blood. But yeah.
Yes.
So new skins, obviously. Revenant's got a sick as shit skin.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
I'm actually probably gonna put down money to get that. But you also have the return of Shadow Royale. So um,
Uh,
yeah, it was just like it was one of those things where it's like it wasn't massive, but you know, considering October, Halloween, I felt that
yeah.
this was a good kind of topic to end off on because Apex Legends, it's still very much a popular game, and
Mm-hmm.
as much as it frustrates and stresses me the hell out just playing it because it's hard to even play casually anymore because everyone's such a sweat fest. Um, the overall game is still fun, so hoping to
Mm-hmm.
get in some good games with that. And who knows, maybe for the next episode, I'll actually be able to get some Shadow Royale gameplay. Speaking of which, so for those who may not know, if we're not able to get in another episode on the 23rd, I may not be. So if we're not able to get an episode out on the 23rd of this month, then chances are our next episode will be on the 6th of November because on the 30th of October, I'm actually going to be away in California for a wedding. So if we actually miss the 16th, we're gonna have to. No, if we miss the 23rd, then the
Mm-hmm.
next episode will be on the 6th. So, but I'll still be collecting information on games and whatnot. So hopefully we can actually get
Oh,
in.
Lord.
Yeah, so hopefully we can actually get in on the 23rd. Since I don't know about you, but just because we can have a long list of shit doesn't mean I want to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. So overall though, long list, but not too bad. As I said before, we managed to breeze past like I think a third of it actually. But yeah, no, guys. As always, though, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment. If there's anything that you want to send us in terms of things that you would like us to cover in terms of gaming news, be sure to let us know down in the comments below. As always, if you have any feedback for us, be sure to let us know that as well. I'm going to have Caesar's socials as always in the description down below. I actually had to add it in a few days after the last episode because I forgot to.
Oh, my God.
And as always for me, Twitter is in down description below, as well as YouTube page obviously, as well as Twitch and my Discord server. As if you guys want to join and hang out. Um, but yeah, so until next time, this is Graywolf. Caesar, thank you once again for coming on, and until next time, guys, I will catch you next time.
Bye-bye.